Good morning, Steve Zelenardo. We're going to talk all about the Kingston today. We're going to spend 5 to 10 minutes on what was just released on Camerata's website. We've been trying to follow this and seeing site plans, but nothing was released. Well, we got some information going forward, so let's jump right into this. Unfortunately, my drone is being repaired, so as soon as the drone is fixed, or maybe even Trent can head out there, we're going to fly a drone over the site because roads are all in, curbs are in, and there's model homes being built, which is kind of crazy. So let's look at the actual site plan, which is awesome. Again, this is obviously, everyone's kind of, especially in Verdana, no one knows if they want to move there. There's a whole thing with this. I still think, for me, I like Verdana, to be honest. It's just going to be a thing for me. And I like I'll give you an example. So let's just talk about investing. So this is Verdana Village currently right now, and this is the place of the Corkscrew. When we made our decision here, okay, when we end up buying here, I looked at all the comps, all the resales, as a proper investor would do. What are these things? What are these properties selling for? Specifically because the Camerata is the developer, so they designed the community and the amenities, and the builders were all the same. So Lennar and Pulte. So Lennar and Pulte were building the same house in the same developers like master plan. So that's going to give you a clear indication, logically, about your future resale value. So when we bought Verdana, I was basing on the comps there. So this is why we went here instead of buying a resale at the place. And I think there was still new construction when we were going to, but I like the new concept. Plus the amenity center. What was important to me is to have the amenity center, the first indoor-outdoor sports complex. Always going to be a lot of value there, clearly. I mean, the community sells itself. You don't have to be a great salesperson to sell Verdana. You just got to limit your talking, know some of the facts, and let your clients walk through the community and they fall in love with it. The driveways that are pushed back three-car tandems, or three-car tandems, so over 66 feet, like your lot, your driveways, all pavers, the spaces between the house, the amenity center is robust. And then you look at the comps. So when we bought our house, we bought the Roseland, which is the 5-bed, 4-bath. I even forgot what it is. But it's a 4,700 square foot home built by Pulte. And then we looked at that, what the value was and what Pulte was asking for it. And we put it on a beautiful lot. We put it on a half-acre lot on a court. I think the better courts, to be honest, because it's very small. It's only 11 echelon series homes on it, and it backs onto a lake. But when we looked at that, I looked at the comps at the place, that particular house was selling for like 1.6 million resale. So if you kind of look at it, we paid 1.2 million, just shy of it. So you're like already $300,000 to $400,000 spread. So I told my wife, even if the market came down, it is a long-term property anyways. I don't think I'll sell it within the 10 years. Let's just say that, unless I have to reinvest the money for some other purpose, which might happen, but we'll see. Hopefully not. We're going to find out in November. That's for immigration purposes, kids. So let's keep it going here. So that's what we did. So the Heatherton was selling for 1.6 resale. This is 1.2 million. So we ended up moving here. And I like this because now the phase 2, which is the East Village, is wrapping up. Like Lennar is well over 65% complete. Pulte's maybe 50% complete. So they're on the tail end. Probably a year and a half, 2 years, it'll be totally wrapped up. And what you're starting to see now is the resale, what's happening, which is great. So how I can tell the future, which is great, like a prophecy, let's call it, and it's not even being prophesized, it's basically looking at what's real. So we have 144 villas, which are basically semi-detached, attached by the center wall of these properties, right? Independent units attached by the center wall, so villas. There's 144 of these units. Last week was the final sellout. We ended up buying one for a client as well, so there's nothing left. So we have another client that flew in from New York looking for a villa. I want a villa. We can't get you a villa. There's none available, sir. Sorry. Let me take a look at resale. So we were buying these villas for like $345,000 last year. We had an investor that picked up 4 of them, and then obviously end users that were picking them up. So we were buying them between $335,000 and $350,000 last year, okay, which was great. $335,000 to $350,000 plus cash incentives. It was a 10, 15K back, which is great. So it's like buying these things for like $320,000 less. So now we look at the resale value. There's only one listed out of 144 units, and it's listed at $410,000. So now if you're coming up from up north and you want to live in Verdana Village and there's nothing available, you don't want to get into a single family home because they're too expensive. They're $450,000, $500K. So what do you want to do? You're going to buy a villa. So you may lock up that deal at 400,000, let's just say 405, whatever it is. Now that you can see the resale values, now you're going to get the next flurry of sales, let's just say, or agents that want to list their properties, or not agents, sorry, sellers that want to list their properties. They're all going to look at the last comp. If it sells over 400K, guess where they're going to list their property? At that 410 mark, 415 mark. So you start to see that trend of where the sales are going to start taking over. The resales start bringing those prices back up. And we're starting to see that too. We sold a resale scenic on last week. Again, 6 days on the market, like super fast for Florida standards. This is like they're gonna mark it down in the books as like Guinness Book of World Records here. Let's just say, again, it's like slow market clearly, like Florida in general. But the last one sold for 440, 430, 450. We sold for 460. We're starting to push that that barrier. We're starting to get the increase in prices. Now there's no scenics for sale, or there's a few for sale right now. But they're going to start looking at our sale price, and they're going to start tailoring them up, which is great because the inventory's out. So I'm looking at Verdana, where I want to stay there because clearly the market's going forward. But let's move to the Kingston. That's the Verdana section. So this area right now, as we drove by, we're about 3 miles to Verdana Village. This is going to be the same developer, Camerata, and the same builders, plus a few others, because Esplanade's going to have their own section. Are going to show you what they plan on doing. This is going to be I would imagine this is going to be Lennar and Pulte right here. I would imagine Kingston South. This would make the most sense for them because it looks like one of their communities they would have joint venture on. And then you have like this little attachment here going over to the commercial section, which is massive. It's like 700,000 square feet of commercial. But I would imagine the commercial is going to be up front, and then there's still going to be houses. So this is probably going to be Pulte and Lennar here. This might be some niche builder that's going to be building estate homes here. So there's going to be larger homes, like upper echelon type homes. And the model homes are already being built. As I mentioned, my drone went down, so we're going to reshoot this and kind of show you what's happening. I want to actually sort of break in and walk these sites. I should have gone on the weekend, to be honest. I had a video today, but we'll get it done this week. I promise you that. Again, Esplanade will have their own section. We don't know. There's Neal Communities as well that's going to be involved here, which is a big builder. So let's actually see who's going to be here. Oh, one more thing here. See this yellow road that's kind of protruding through this community? This is going to be very imperative as well for traffic because, again, this is going to be 10,000 homes, imagine, plus 700,000 square feet of commercial. This road is going to connect the Corkscrew to the 82. So that's going to be huge. Again, just even for all the community here, that they don't have to take Corkscrew out, because Corkscrew is it's getting built up, to be honest, a little bit too much and heavy traffic. It's still on 4 lanes. It's still going to try to get those 4 lanes through. So 82 is already under construction as it is, and it's going to be a good way to get out of the community. Plus, you can take Alico out and the whole thing, and then shoot out to the highway if you need to. So it's going to be a little bit of to alleviate traffic. Again, more commercial here. The only thing I heard regarding some of the construction managers that work for Lennar is that Lennar is going to be going downgrading the quality, like the standards of their properties. So they're going to be going after like a Lehigh type of finishes. So if you know Lehigh, or Lennar rather, they have 3 or 4 communities here in Lehigh Acres, like Ibis Landing, Savannah Lakes. And there's also building some spec lots here as well. So they have a few communities in here. And if you kind of see the finishes, you can see they're down from, let's say, where Verdana is, and also where some of the other communities in Fort Myers that we used to deal with as well. So just to kind of give you an idea with that. So let's keep moving here. Let's close this down. Let's bring in the site. Again, this is a long video, but it is what it is. Can't do these short. It is what it is. Just too much in depth. So this is the resort style pool. Let's take a look. Again, they're all resort style pools. So it's supposed to be like a lazy river here, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that's this area here. Pretty cool. It's going to be really nice. This looks like the lap pool section. This is all going to be great. Waterfalls, slides. The only thing that with the slides, if you saw what happened with the place, the slides cause issues regarding HOA fees because you have to have multiple lifeguards here. Then if you can't open it during the, sometimes people get pissed. So it's going to be a thing with that. But also, as a builder, a developer, how do you get people to go 3 miles, east of Verdana Village, and then everyone already thinks Verdana Village is so far down the Corkscrew. Imagine now this community. So you're gonna have to build like a crazy, robust, like amenity center to get the people down there, which makes total sense as a developer. That's why they're going a little bit extreme with the pool and the slides and the whole thing here. Let's keep moving. This is going to be the saloon, which we have one now, like our craft lounge, basically our cocktail lounge. Again, at this looks like a much larger scale. Pretty cool. Again, like a little speakeasy, pretty cool. It's got a little bit of cowhide here, so I guess they're going after a country feel, like the saloon, which is, I like it. Maybe we might even visit. This is the sports complex, so it's going to have an indoor-outdoor sports complex, but I'm not sure about the size. So you kind of see these are pickleball courts, and this is like a chill area here, which is kind of cool, like a little bar here, which would be nice. Again, that's going to be Kingston South, so let's look at Kingston South quickly. Where are we? Kingston South. So again, I would imagine that's going to be the Lennar and Pulte community. Again, I don't know because they don't tell us as well. So the Esplanade, as you saw on the map, is going to be on the north side of Corkscrew. They don't have much information, but if you've been through an Esplanade community, they always do them amazing because they're always looking for an upper scale buyer at the end. Yeah, a little bit of information. So True North Kingston School. So this is Classical Academy. That's cool. Planned as a tuition-free charter school. So that's good. They have a charter school down the road, which is fantastic. Even for Verdana Village, to be honest, you're 3 miles down. You can bring your kids to school. That's them donating land for the preserve. 700,000 square feet of planned retail and shops. Bring daily convenience dining, gathering places close to home, which is awesome, clearly. Kingston Village golf cart connectivity, scenic tour lane, spine road, and shared use pathway linking neighborhoods. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And these are your builders currently right now. So Lennar, Pulte, clearly, Neal Communities, and the Esplanade. So I would imagine, I'm not sure, maybe Pulte is going to be doing the upper echelon homes as well. Like these bigger houses. If you kind of look at it, there are only 320 homes with 3 collections to choose. So this is actually, they're not doing much here, Pulte. Only 320 homes and 3 collections. So I'm just reading this as we're going as well. Lennar's got the bigger portion of this, so 1,358 homes and villas ranging from 1,462 square feet to 4,000 square feet with 4 collections to choose from. Okay, so collections clearly is it's not 4 types of houses, it's 4 collections. So Lennar will have their villas, they'll have their executives, they'll have their manors, and then they'll have the larger ones, their I guess their echelon series, right? And then Pulte the same, so scenic, executive, and then echelon. That makes total sense. Esplanade is going to have 1,285 homes, and the Neal Communities will have 1,433 homes. So I'm curious where these are going to be. Maybe Pulte's not going to be connected to Lennar. Maybe Neal is going to be connected. Maybe this is just Pulte here with 300 and odd houses, which makes more sense for maybe the estates potentially. We'll obviously figure this out as we're going, but that's just a quick update on the Kingston. We will keep you posted clearly on the video. We're going to get something out this week as well. We're going to head up there and shoot some video and content and give you guys an idea. We're going to sneak in after hours and give you some information. Have a great day.